All right, good afternoon. I'm Congressman Scott Taylor, and first I want to thank you for being here today. Most importantly, I want to first express great gratitude to all involved in this charitable undertaking for bringing us together appropriately on this day. For just 1 year ago to the day, early in the morning, I met with a couple local constituents, Kimberly Wimbush and Michael Mohammed, and NAACP Rep. Diotha Sweat, and the Billie family. Parents Meltoni and Brandy. And I remember it like it was yesterday. I also want to thank the NAACP for their support and their action in rallying my colleagues to this cause. And a special thanks to Stephen D. with NCIS, Naval Criminal Investigative Service. I'm not even going to try to butcher your name. Jason Collins with the FBI in Norfolk. Jonathan Colgan from Norfolk Police Department. Lieutenant Ball from Virginia Beach Police Department. We appreciate all the work that you do and your departments do, especially on this specific case and everything that you do on a daily basis to keep us safe. So thank you. I have to tell you, that morning, a year ago, I knew right then, in my gut and in my heart, that this family would soon receive some very tragic news. And so now we have undertaken this action with this bill that is now will be passed through this great House of Representatives tonight. And a shaken family that I met just a year ago today now stands here strong in their faith, strong in their persistence to honor Ashanti, and strong with determination to help families all across our great land who may find themselves in a similar situation. Ashanti Billie was a beautiful young black woman with a beaming smile. She was a hard worker. She'd wake up before sunrise and head to the naval base and start her job. At night, she attended culinary classes at the Virginia Beach Art Institute. She also had hopes and dreams and aspirations. She was passionate about life and brought her positive energy to everyone who she met. And I know there are no words, no wishes, no whispers that can bring her back or ease the Billie family burden. But I also know that no amount of darkness can ever keep out a bright light. Today's vote on Ashanti's legacy will give law enforcement all across our great nation a new tool to bring resources to bear to locate missing adults who may be in danger. And it will, no doubt, save lives all over this land. And I just want to say, before I bring the Billie family up here, I speak for myself and certainly my team, that while we work hard every day to represent our community, our Commonwealth, and our country, there is no doubt in my mind, in my heart, and their hearts of my team, that this is one of the best things that we will ever do. So with that, I'd like to bring up the Billie family.
We're just thankful to everybody here today. Congressman Scott Taylor has been with us from day one, and he hasn't left our side. He vowed when we first met him that he would help us do whatever it took. And he's here as living proof that he stood by his word. And we just thank him for that. We really do. Our support system, the FBI, the local police and authorities, NCIS, everyone that helped us get to where we are today. The Ashanti Alert is here to help those that go missing, the adults. Until this happened to us and our daughter was missing, we didn't know there wasn't an alert in place for adults between the ages of 18 and 65. The Ashanti Alert will fix that void. There will be an alert in place for those missing adults that are missing under mysterious circumstances. Unfortunately, it's too late to help our daughter, but we know that through the Ashanti Alert, she can continue to help others. Her legacy will live on.
Just giving God thanks and glory and honor for allowing us to be at this process, that now brings us here. We've walked in the steps that He has ordered. And here it is a year later, and we just want to thank everybody for staying the course with us. Like I say, Congressman, when we met him, like I say, he made a promise, and he stood firm on his promise. We want you guys to understand that this is it's bigger than Ashanti. It's about the epidemic that we face in this world of people being missing. So with this Ashanti Alert, we pray that it will help families out as much as possible.
The alert isn't for just Ashanti. It's not a black or white issue. It's not a male or female issue. It's not a Republican or Democratic issue. It's a human issue. And with full support, we'll see this forward.
We're happy to take any questions that you guys may have.
Could you tell us what it's like to be here today, knowing how much work has gone into this? What's it like for the two of you to be here?
What we both know that to be here a year later is extraordinary. People have been working behind closed doors for us that we didn't even know were working for us. So to be here today, her life wasn't in vain. It was for a purpose, and this is the purpose for the Ashanti Alert.
Well, as for myself, for this moment, the way I feel, I can imagine what heaven is like. This is the closest step to being to heaven is how I feel about it.
Could someone from law enforcement maybe give an explanation on when the rubber hits the road, how this will help adults when they go missing? How a law enforcement officer would use this bill to enact notification? Anyone?
If they don't want to be on camera, I'll take a stab at it, but you know.
Give us a real life example on what would happen.
Sure.
When someone, if she were here and she needed people.
So let me start with an explanation. I'm sorry. Let me start with an explanation of the Amber Alert, because I think that most folks understand what the Amber Alert is. And let me say that in 2016, the Amber Alert was issued 179 times. 155 of them were recovered. 43 of them were directly attributable to the Amber Alert itself. When the Amber Alert when the Amber Alert is used, it brings broadcast, telecommunications, and obviously our social media together to bring resources to bear, and shines a huge light on that missing person. This would be similar. So law enforcement, now obviously when you look at adults 18 to 65, some of them may want to be missing, right? So you don't want to impede on their liberties, but you also want to give it to the law enforcement agency, whoever might be investigating. They have the authority to say, hey, someone's in danger. Someone has mental health issues that we're concerned about. Someone we know that may have been taken against their will. So the investigating law enforcement body would make that call then, would have the flexibility to do that. And they would trigger that alert, and much like the Amber Alert, you would have broadcast, you would have telecommunications, and certainly you'd have the community coming together to help out, to shine a light on that missing person.
Congressman, can you talk about what the next steps are? You're expecting a vote tonight at 5:30, and where do we go from here to actually see this bill becoming a law?
It's a great question. I do expect a positive vote tonight in the U.S. House of Representatives. My team and also other folks are trying to identify champions in the Senate. We like people who do things, who work really hard to get it done. Sometimes bills tend to go to the Senate and kind of sit there. We're going to be looking for a champion, most likely on the Judiciary Committee in the Senate, or someone who will run with the ball, quite frankly, and try to get this what's called hotline. So to try to get this through quickly. The goal here is to get this bill back with the Senate hotline right to the president's desk so that he can sign it before the year's end. I want to try to do it sooner than that, but I want to give myself that end of the year. But my office has already started reaching out to senators, and we'll be shepherding that process through. Not just will we find the senator themselves, but we'll be in the Senate staff as well, trying to push this through and try to get it what's called hotline back to the president's desk. Any more questions? Well, thank you guys very much for coming out today, and if there's anything else, please don't hesitate to reach out to our office. Thanks for coming today. We appreciate you. Thanks to the Billie family and everybody else who came out. Thank you.